Hello and welcome back to Monstrosities, a vlog of Tokusatsu. I'm your host, Matt Burkett, and this is a very special live stream featuring the one, the only, Mr. Norman C. England. Why are you here? What are we doing? You're always showing up on my doorstep.
You're asking me these philosophical questions I can't answer. Why are we here? I don't know. We're here because of this guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why we're all here. That's why you're there. You know, I wish I was there. But how are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, pretty good actually. Yeah, I guess today I decided, I just was in Osaka. I did a day trip to Osaka and did a bunch of cool things, and I've been doing a bunch of cool things recently, and I feel like talking about them with my buddy Matt.
Well,
do we even have anybody listening to us?
We got a couple people. It's going to be a little bit slow going tonight. So, real quick, brief note to the people who are in the chat. We got hit by a huge army of chat bots last night. So, you guys are going to have a 30-second delay in when you press enter on your keyboard. But we do have Isabella in the house. What is up? How you doing? We got Doomzilla. What is up, my friend? Evan Godzilla. Hello, hello, hello. And Isabella says, hi, Matt and Norman. So,
hello, Isabella. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not really seeing the stream. So, oh, wait, I have comments. Oh, I can see on the side, right? Yeah. Okay, now I got it. I had the private chat set up where Matt was like insulting everybody in the private chat.
Well, they already know I do that to literally everybody. You know what I mean? Like I don't even go private sometimes. I just do it right to their face.
No, I switch it to comments, and now I can see. So, and RJ Godzilla 81.
Oh, hey, RJ's here. What
did your mother name you that? I don't know. I must have said that joke like 1,000 times.
Yeah, I think his real name that his mother gave him was RJ Gojira 81.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna. I pulled this guy out. This was the first Bandai figure, and I got this. I got this when Godzilla 85 came out, and it was a present from my friend Brandy, who is an excellent artist born and raised in Manhattan, and she was going out with Steve, a guy in a band I used to play with, and Brandy was the artist at Tower Records down on 4th and Broadway. She'd do these wonderful displays and stuff, and then for my birthday, I guess, I got this figure. I was like, oh yeah, I love Godzilla, and her and Steve got me my first real Godzilla book, which I've got somewhere over there, and I still have these things since 85.
That's
and
crazy.
Yeah, this is my favorite figure. And what's good is like sometimes I've like lost figures, gotten rid of figures, and then I've rebought them, and it's just not the same. Like if you look up there, I've got a Strange Change toy, which is from the 60s, and that's this awesome thing from Mattel, and I had it in the 60s. And I rebought it, and that's, it's fine, it's great, but I wish I had my original one, because that was the one that I don't know whose DNA is all over that, but I know this guy has been with me forever, since 1985. So
that's amazing.
Anyway,
by the way, we got Paul Tackett in the chat who says, "Yo, Norman."
Yo, Paul, thank you. I'm always happy when Paul comes around. I know that there's at least one guy who has a good time, other than me, because I just like talking, So
what were you doing over in Osaka?
Well, I'm gonna get into that, but I just wanted to talk about other crap I've been up to.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I say crap, it doesn't demonetize.
You've already said it twice now, so regardless of it does or doesn't,
I'm from New York, we say a lot of bad words over there.
No,
but anyway, I'm going to show you some things. I mean, everybody, first is I got to plug my book as always, buy my damn book and let my stories of Godzilla sets, blow you away. Because I wrote this thing so people would get it, so they would understand what goes on a set, not just this crappy speculation that some fans seem look at photos and try to imagine what's going on.
Speculation makes the world go round,
Speaking
though.
of which, for example, back 20 years ago, and I don't know if Ishii directed it or what, there was some special about Godzilla sets, and they were showing like Studio 9 and talking about Studio 9, and they're talking about accidents that happened with Nakajima and Satsuma. I watched it on TV, and I guess that was during either during GMK or the next one, Mechagodzilla. And when these accidents happen, like this doctor and nurse would rush into Studio 9, like did these recreations. And the next day, over at Touhou the next day, and like everyone had watched the show and they're all cracking up because like a doctor and a nurse, like the way it was shown was like completely not what the reality was,
Right.
And that's part of, what my drive to write this thing is to let people really know what goes on on the Godzilla set. So I mean not to say it's a must read, but I mean if you are interested in the sets, it's a must read.
Sremora, what would you call the sequel to your book?
The sequel, like as in another one? Well, I've been thinking to do not a part 2 of this one, but there's other Godzilla sets I was involved with, other Japanese film sets, like The Grudge and Death Note and different things like that. So I've been thinking to do a book that, not a diary like this per se, but one that just covers my experiences on, say, 30 or 40 different Japanese productions. It wouldn't just be singularly focused on, say, the kaiju thing, even though I do have, the Mechagodzilla, Tokyo SOS, and a tiny bit of Final Wars stuff to talk about. So, but that's I'm like the slowest writer in the world. So, I mean, don't hold your breath. I mean, this took me forever to write, but I mean, I really only got really serious in the past 10 years, but it was still like off and on type of stuff and rewriting. So, but I did, and this is only for Japan, I just have a piece. This just came out in Japan. It's a kind of fan-made, although it's selling in bookstores in Japan, about Girara, whatever you call that in English.
Cool.
So I wrote a piece, and see, they got me right here, Norman, England.
Is that like a behind the scenes book?
No, it's just stuff about the film. Norman England Sensei. It's kind of like a joke, but I wrote a piece for this. Yeah, and it's very colorful and very, I think it's actually better than the movie, if you've ever seen the film.
That's awesome.
You've seen the film, haven't you?
I think I have. It's been a long time.
I think I have means no, I haven't. So
it's been a long time. I'm talking like kid.
You're not that old, man. But anyway, I mean, Girara is not like the greatest film in the world, but it actually has some really great miniature effects in the thing, which unfortunately they shot at real speed, so it doesn't have that, when shooting slow motion, which is a real shame because some of this stuff is really, they got a lot of sets.
How much does that retail for?
It's like 1,000 yen now. That with the yen dropping to the dollar, it's like incredibly low now. So that's like $850.
I might have to pick it up. That looks really freaking cool. By the way, thank you, Paul.
Here. Thank you, Paul.
Support Mr. Norman England. Buy Behind the Kaiju Curtain on Amazon.com.
And Andres, who was just out here, he picked up a copy. I took him over to the Nakano Mall. And another thing I just did, I'm going to plug, is this film called Idol Never Dies. It's I did the subtitles for it. I've just been doing a bunch of subtitles, and this one, I just wrote about this on Twitter, but in Japanese. But this movie's fantastic. Noboru Iguchi, who I've worked with, I've done stills for his movies, and I subtitle a lot of his. I just did 2 of his films in a row. The next one comes out later this year, but this one came out just fantastic, fun.
You saw that like a month ago or just like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. I'm not actually finished with the film. I finished subbing it, but I've only done a screener version. Like they gave me a copy that has time code on the top.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, and then when I'm like, I finished it. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. I can't output it, for them to use as a screener because it's got, so I said, this is good to do as submission, so I have to get on their butts to send me a high quality, clean copy so I can output it and they can start showing. But yeah, I really like the film a lot. So those are a couple things that I've been doing. And, I've been involved with this Yasuyuki Inoue exhibition that's going on at that museum where there's a month left in that. And so actually I have some photos. I went the other day, so I thought maybe I'd just start my photo thing.
Yeah, sure.
And and I will, let me get to my,
Andre's sent me a copy of that book of the new exhibition.
Oh, he did? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this one right here.
I have it somewhere.
Very good. I'm actually surprised you can actually buy this at retail too.
Right here. No, I picked up a copy of it, and then stupidly, like, I got some of the old timers to autograph it inside.
Oh, nice.
But it's on this laminated thing. So it's like rubbing out. I'm like, oh no. Actually, this guy Jiro Shirasaki, we were, and I might have mentioned this when I was on before. I got invited to the opening night party for this, and and they're all in my documentary, the Bringing Godzilla Down to Size. But we went over to, and this guy Shirasaki is like the sweetest guy. And in the section where Frankenstein Conquers the World, there's a photo like of him at work on the miniature set, and it's like really cool. It's like, it was just like cool. And he's so sweet. He's like, I just can't believe, never would have imagined this would have happened, like half a century later, But anyway, I picked up the book too. And and so anyway, I'm gonna just go through my stuff, and I will, let me share my screen, right? That's what I do, right?
Yep.
And then, okay, so I went the other day because this is, Shusuke Kaneko, who we know from the only guy who's directed Gamera, Godzilla, and Ultraman. Oh, no, wait. Now, shouldn't Ultraman just came out? So I don't know.
Higuchi didn't direct Gamera, though.
No, he did. He's a special effects director. So this is, I guess, the fanboys can argue this now.
Yeah, let the fanboys figure it out.
Because it's very important. But anyway, so Kaneko called me the other day, and he's like, oh, Mike gave me a couple tickets, you and Miyako. Miyako's my partner. And he's like, you want to join me? I'm like, I've already been there twice. He's like, come, Mike's doing a little talk show. So we went, and had a good time with that. So this is actually, Miyako took this shot. I'm going to just page through some of these things. So
yeah, go for it.
And then that's actually Miyako and Shusuke. You're not allowed to take photos inside. The opening party, I took like 1,000 photos because they let us do that. The night before opening. I don't know, but they're very strict about it. So this is like on the like the entranceway inside. And Miyako's wearing this t-shirt she just designed. A friend of ours who is a professional photographer for rock bands. He's a big cat lover, and he also, as a hobby, takes cat photos and publishes cat photos, and he loves cats, and one of his beloved cats is passing away. So he, using the image from House, he asked Miyako to do a tribute shirt to the cat so he could raise money for its treatment. So she's wearing that right there.
That's awesome.
So yeah, a lot of cat lovers in Japan. So anyway, you're only allowed to take photos at the very ending on the Rodan thing. So there's, Miyako doing the little Japanese piece thing. And there's That's in that same room. You can see both of mine and Kaneko's bald spots there. And that other guy, whoever that guy is. I mean,
Yeah, all the way around. I personally don't know anything about that, but it's
yeah, right. Well, but anyway, I mean, I guess I'm the winner. There's a contest I don't want to win, but there you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, these you can see like photos over there that are, in Inoue was like, we should do a show about his stuff. I'd like to get on with Ed with you and go through stuff, but I mean, that was really like, I knew the giant pool before, they raised it at Touhou, right. But even that had been downsized twice by the Millennium series. When they built originally 60-61, it was just like huge.
Yeah. I would really love to get Ed on here. I know that we've been we've been in talks with him. I'm assuming he's been busy because I don't think he's ghosted me, but I haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks.
No, he's totally ghosted you.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're just as well then.
Anyway, this is so there's me and then Kaneko, Miyako, and then next to Miyako her name is Tomomi Togo, and she's the niece of Inoue, the art director, and so she's been handling his estate. And then next to her is Toshio Miike, who is art director for special effects on Gamera and Millennium series and Shin Godzilla and many other things too. So, and that's the Rodan, the reproduction of the whatever that department store is that Inoue designed, his team built. Now, and then Miike did this very interesting talk about Inoue this day, and something that he pointed out, and like I would never have noticed. He said he didn't notice until he actually built this thing with his team. But like, if you see these, can you see my cursor?
Yes.
You see these staircases right over here? Yeah. In the original, they're actually reversed on the actual location.
Oh, interesting.
So Miike, Inoue made it wrong, designed it wrong. So there's a couple little things that are just like kind of a little inaccurate, but it was like he'd seen Rodan 1,000 times, studied this thing and didn't really notice until he was comparing photos. And it's like, oh, the staircases are reversed over there. So I don't know, it's just little otaku tidbit.
Interesting.
Anyway, so I'm talking to Miike, and Rodan is keeping a watchful eye on us. And then Kaneko is talking to this guy, works at Tokyo Genzo Show, which is kind of a division of Touhou that does compositing and kind of technical work for them. And I hadn't met him before, but he comes up to me and he's like, oh, Norman, it's so great to meet you. When I was a kid, I used to read your set reports. I'm like, oh, don't rub my age in. When you were a kid,
Well, Norman, when I was a kid, I used to read your set reports.
But anyway, so, and then this is just a little shot of us doing and there. And then we went out for okonomiyaki. And this is actually monja. And I don't think I'd ever had monja before. Monja is like the Tokyo version of okonomiyaki. And okonomiyaki is considered like Osaka. In the Osaka region is called Kansai. There's also Hiroshima okonomiyaki, which has noodles in it. But the Osaka one is really based around cabbage. And the monja-yaki is, I don't know. I don't want to say it. Osaka people look down on it. They think it's kind of gross and low class, but I finally bit the bullet and had it, and it was really good. I really liked it. So you kind of cook it. It looks like a volcano thing. You drop stuff inside of it, and you have these little scoopers to eat from. So I got beer. Kaneko got beer, and then Miyako got, and I love this. Check this out. This is, see, it says in Japanese here, it says Kodomo no nomimono. No, sorry. Kodomo no nomimono. Kodomo is child, and no is like apostrophe S, and nomimono means drink, children's drink. Now they used to call this, I guess there was like uproar maybe 10 years ago because they used to call it children's beer. So and
Yeah.
then they turned it to children's drink. But look at this. It's like a drink for kids, and there's no alcohol in it or anything.
Right. That's kind of
Beer.
insane.
And then look at the drawing on this, but it's like, man, it's like when I was a kid in the 60s and we'd have like the candy cigarettes and stuff like that. And all of that stuff is gone now, So anyway, I just thought that it was fun. I took a photo of it because
it's funny.
And yeah, there's with the monja like that, it's kind of disgusting looking. You get these little, you see, I've got this little scraper. You can only take these little like nibbles at the thing at a time. It's very annoying, but it was very good. And then we got this thing called I love this. It's squid gesso butter, and I love it very much. I often get it. It's really good. And then we were walking home to the station. We went by this outdoor place selling weird beer brands. So we spent like another hour and a half here just talking about movies and stuff and what Kaneko's up to and stuff I can't talk about, but it was really fun.
Stuff you can't talk about, huh?
Yeah, nothing drastic or anything. I mean, don't get your hopes up.
I know. I was just playing.
But anyway, I mean, yeah, it was really, really fun. So, and then I put this up on Twitter the other day, but oh, that's right, because Shin Ultraman opened yesterday.
It did.
It did. And I haven't gone. I'm thinking maybe I'll go see it Monday or something. I mean, I'm not, me, I'm not really like an Ultraman guy, though. I don't.
Right. But you got, people who are in it and stuff. Does that mean that you can come on here and tell us what you thought about it?
I don't know. And I've been in 2 Ultraman episodes.
Yes. And your friend directed Ultraman. So
no, I've been in 3. I was in, what was it? Well, I spent a lot of time on the set of Ultraman Max.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in any episode. And then Yagi asked me to be in some Ultraman episode, and I was there. And that's when I met Shelly, who was in the Millennium series as the android woman, but you don't know she's an android. The pilot.
You're talking about the Heisei one, and she was in Mechagodzilla, right?
Yeah, right. And they cut out her, like, revealing that she was an android. I guess that's like an extra.
Yeah.
On like the Laserdisc or something. And I met Shelly there. And whatever that was called, I forgot. And then Kaneko did like some Ultra Q style things, and I was an extra in that. And then Taguchi called me up one day for some Ultraman series several years ago, and he needed foreigners. So I was an extra in that. And I can't remember the name of it. So I've been in a bunch of Ultraman things, but I don't know Ultraman well enough. And you got me the Ultra Q box set, which was fantastic. I loved it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't dislike Ultraman at all. I just don't know it well enough to really, say this or that about it. And I don't want to, it's kind of like anime. Like I don't dislike anime, but I couldn't get into anime at this point in my life because I just come across as a fake, because like Godzilla, I've been watching Godzilla since I was 5, and I've been with the series throughout the whole shebang and stuff like that. So, but anyway,
real quick before we keep on going, I just want to, we had some donations, but Paul just donated another $5. Norman, I love your take on Shin Ultraman, or would love to hear your take on Shin Ultraman, love it or hate it. So there's one, I personally would also like for you to see. And this is just real quick because this is off topic. Executor, thank you for the $5. It would depend. That's your maybe CGI, because that would be the way to get everybody involved. So thank you for the $5, Executor.
But I want to say Saito Takumi, who's in the middle here, the star. This is him. He's a pal of mine. We actually exchanged emails the other day. I've worked with him on a couple of films, and he also directs very wonderful like human drama films, and I usually subtitle all his stuff. So
What was that short film that you subtitled?
oh, I made you watch that, the one
Yeah,
about the one with the clock.
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that
the
was very
time.
interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of fun, little science fiction-y thing. He did a film called Blank 13, and that was a very good film. Very, you know, it did very well abroad at film festivals,
Yeah,
and yeah, everybody seems to really like, very human drama film. And yeah, some of the, I mean, Takumi's also in Shin Godzilla. I mean, he's in everything these days. So what he does is he does all these type of films like this, makes money, and then makes his own films, you know. And
that's what it is.
also, you know, for the movie magazine Ega Hiho, he had a column in it, and I had a column, and our columns are sometimes facing each other back to back. So
Nice.
but Hiho just folded last month, so and that's kind of why we were kind of crying to each other about losing that, because I've been doing a column for Ega Hiho for like 10 years, and I guess he's been doing it for a long time too. So anyway, so I was in Shinjuku, and I snapped this like last week or something like that. But I was thinking today, today's Saturday, and maybe I'll see if I can get a ticket for like Monday, because I haven't announced it yet, but it looks like I'm going to be going to the Middle East next week. So
Oh yeah, that's right. You're busy next week. Damn it.
yeah.
So we can't have you on for Shin Ultraman. But the fact that you're going out of town is very exciting.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw this in there. Just, you know, just putting up like recent stuff I've been looking at. So anyway, I went to Osaka, and the reason I went to Osaka was, you know, I just said I'm going to the Middle East, and the nation that I'm going to requires 6 months on your passport. And I look at my passport, and it's like, damn, I got 4 months left, you know. And I'm looking at the U.S. Embassy in over there, and they're like, we recommend you have 6 months. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Recommend? You either need it or you don't, you know.
Yeah.
So finally figured out, no, the people over there, no, you got to have 6 months on it. So, you know, we have an embassy, US embassy in Tokyo, couldn't get a booking, you know. So it was like I had to book an appointment at the Osaka US embassy. You know, for the love of God, you know, I have to go all the way to Osaka, you know, and spend an hour, you know, to do this. But luckily, I mean, because this is part of an event that I'm doing in the Middle East, they picked up the tab for my Shinkansen and my hotel and stuff like that. So cool, you know.
How long
Anyway,
is the trip out there?
where? Osaka?
Yeah, from Tokyo to Osaka. Is it 6 hours?
No, it's 2.5 hours.
Okay.
I mean, if I took a plane, it'd be an hour, but the airport's really in an annoying location, and there's different speeds of the bullet train or the Shinkansen, and I
Gotcha.
took the Nozomi, which is the quickest one, and so you go from Tokyo Station to Shin Osaka. It takes 2.5 hours. So
Gotcha.
anyway,
I'm thinking of something else.
here we are in the Shinkansen. It looks dark out. We must be going through a tunnel. I don't know. But and it really wasn't packed. So I had 3 seats to myself, which was cool. And then these are just shots I took
Wow.
them outdoors. You know, one of the things that I noticed when I came to Japan the first time was like, you know, you look at Godzilla miniatures and you're like, God, it looks so fake. But then when you come to Japan, you're like, oh my God, that's how this place looks.
Yeah.
You know, it's different than the US, you know, the landscapes. I mean, look, you know, down here, you know,
Gorgeous.
like, you know, these places, this is with my iPhone. So, and then I don't know why I took this photo, but I love this bridge back there, you know, just like
Yeah.
cool, you know, and I love riding the Shinkansen. I mean, I really like it. So anyway, yeah, just shots like this speeding by, and then here I am at work. I've been reading my friend Matt Alt's book, Pure Invention, which is very good, very interesting. He read my book like way quicker than I read his book, so I feel I haven't contacted him. I got to finish the book, and then I'll contact him. And I was making a list over here of all the things I wanted to do in Osaka, because I lived in Osaka for 9 years before I moved to Tokyo. So, and I hardly go back, so anyway. And then I was imagining myself as Russ Tamblyn on the Shinkansen with Kumi Mizuno, so from War of the Gargantuas, which I watched the night before. So this is like the old Shinkansen back, because I think the Shinkansen opened up in like 64.
Okay.
That's when they started running it. And then War of the Gargantuas probably like 2 years or year after, so they got these neat shots of some of the very early, Shinkansen trains, and they're really snub-nosed. But anyway, I just threw this on there because this, I'm a big fanboy of this movie. So
it's a great movie.
Anyway, and then this is one of my traditions. I always take a photo of this spot. And do you know this spot?
I know it's from one of the Heisei movies, right? Or am I completely off?
There you go.
Ah, there we go. That's
because you see the bridge. See, there's the Shinkansen, right?
Yeah.
There's the Shinkansen, and there's the bridge behind it. So it's like there. But it was so overcast, I couldn't see Fuji.
Yeah.
On this day, but I've gotten some spectacular Fuji. But I got this shot really clear because you're going through this. If you look through, we're traveling through this like bridge thing, and so these like triangular things here, they like zip by, and you got to take like 1,000 photos until you get it without those things on it.
Right? Yeah.
Blocking the way. I'm like, I got it. So I'm very happy. And there's some look. There's a Ferris wheel, if you can see back over here. So.
Just a random Ferris wheel out in the mountains.
In the middle of nowhere. But anyway, so, and then pulling through Kyoto. I like it. This is called, this temple's called Toji. And you can see this in Gamera 3.
Yeah.
When you see from the station, and actually they did a cheat because they composited it into a different spot. Close by, so they could like condense, make it look more like Kyoto-ish.
Yeah.
But I've been to this place. I've only been to this temple once, but I like to take a photo of it. It's right across from Kyoto Station. And then we arrive in Shin Osaka. And so you see here it's like Kyoto, Shin Osaka, Shin Gojira, Shin Ultraman.
I was just about to make an Ano joke, but I knew if I made one, you wouldn't talk to me anymore. So I kept my mouth shut. So I'm glad you went ahead and made that joke.
We need Shin Kyoto. Shin Kyoto. Shin. Okay. So anyway, that's Shin just means new. Yeah. Really, But the way it's weird with Shin on the Godzilla and Ultraman is they don't use it they use with a kanji. So Shin, there's actually several different interpretations for it. So it's kind of a mystery which one it really is, if it really means new or something. So anyway, so in Osaka, this is very confusing because this is a big part of Osaka called Umeda, except they call the station here Osaka Station. It's very annoying. Why don't they just call it Umeda Station?
Yeah.
But like when I lived here, back in the 90s, like see this building here, this Yoriyabashi camera store, that was not there. This was not there. This is not there. This was not there. This is all got built like within this century. So it really changed so much. But this walkway has been there. And this is the Hankyu department store, and Hankyu has a very big presence in Osaka, and they're actually used to have a connection with Touhou, but I would have to redo my research on that because my memory's a little hazy, and I don't want to say something wrong and get attacked for it later on. Anyway, yeah, this is like, all of this here is all new. It was really just this flat thing where it says, you see where it says Osaka Station over here, Osaka Station. Why don't they call it Umeda Station? Because it's like, I'll meet you in Umeda at Osaka. In Tokyo, I'll meet you in, Shibuya Station. You know what I mean? Tokyo Station. They're all, they go by the name of the area, Yeah. And for the most part, in Osaka, everything else is that way. Just this one station's not called by the name of the area.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, see, this is how, when I was back in my day, it was just this train overpass, didn't have this building or anything, and just would cross over on the streets like that. And I just took this photo because one of the things Osaka's still guilty of, it's got all these like pedestrian overpasses, and they've been getting rid of them in Tokyo. And I was trying to find this so you got to walk over streets and stuff. It's really annoying. But well, I was trying to find the photo, but there's one of the Godzilla films after GMK. There's a shot Godzilla slides down the road and smashes into one of these pedestrian things. And I was talking to one of the staffers in the art department. I was like, yeah, I hate those things. I mean, you got to walk over the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why can't I just cross the street? It's such an effort to get to the other side. He's like, everyone in Japan hates these, and we're doing the scene in Godzilla just to show our anger at these things by having Godzilla smash into one. I'm like, I love that answer so much.
It's awesome.
So anyway, this is also in Umeda, but I just wanted to point out on this was a big scene in Black Rain. So I found this frame cap of that, but you can see how much it's changed since the 80s.
Yeah.
But if you look up here, it says 32 whatever Hon something. This is Hankyu over there. That's what this is over here.
Oh, nice.
But they really like change. That's right. And I looking at it, they used to have these pillars here. But I think, something happened here. Maybe a guy got beheaded here or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh, goodness.
I haven't seen the film in decades, but I just thought, as we're all movie fans here. So that's like Osaka Pride too. The Ridley Scott shot Black Rain in Osaka.
Yeah.
So, and Osaka, I mean, they still have these green phones from the 90s set up. I'm like, you never see these in Tokyo anymore. I mean, everyone's got cell phones, right. So it's like good old backwards Osaka. I love the place, So, and then this is a thing called the Big Man. And like in Tokyo, well, in Shinjuku, everyone meets in front of, I can't remember the name of the place. Or Shibuya, you meet in front of Hachiko, the dog statue. And in Umeda, everyone meets in front of the Big Man. And that thing is still there. And here's a shot I took, a very crappy shot. It was very dark. I tried to lighten it up, but this is Godzilla versus Destroyer.
Yeah.
Ad on the Big Man. So this is from 95. So then and now, awesome. So I don't know why I have this photo there. Anyway, this is like the Touhou Cinema Theater that's in Umeda, which is one of the big ones.
I've seen you post a lot of pictures of like the banners and stuff outside.
Yeah, I'm going to show you that comparison. Look, I just noticed that they took the Touhou symbol down from right here.
Yeah.
Those fools. And look at this is what it used to look like.
I know. Yeah.
Look at that. Or look at this, This is awesome. This is like film culture. And then look at this. Just these black things here. Touhou Cinemas, And here, this thing's been up forever. Because you got to look at the next photo. It's me in front of it with my shirt with Yamato Takeru. So what is this? Like 93?
94, I think. Right?
I don't know. Come on, someone knows. But
well, let's be honest. You were going to go see Sister Act 2, not that one.
Of course. Dude is called out. Yes, that's what I was really there for. But anyway, I still have that Godzilla shirt, by the way.
It's a great shirt.
It came out. I got that when 85 came out. I bought that in New York, and I love that shirt. I still have it. I wish I could get a new one. It's probably illegal shirt, but yeah, you see, that's the same thing there. And this is upstairs in the theater, and they've completely redone it. It's garbage. I hate it. So actually, if you see there's kind of like a joke here. It says, "Are you meta ready?" So, are you ready? The area is called Umeda. Very
hard.
Are you laughing?
Yeah. It's. I mean, that writing. I mean, it's better than most things I see on Twitter. Just so sharp and and cunning.
This is another thing that I love. They haven't stopped doing this in Japan. It says dai hito, and dai hit means a big hit, hit movie type of thing. And Touhou always, even before a movie opens, they're advertising, or like Godzilla, it would always say big hit movie. But it's like it hasn't even opened yet. How do you know? Yeah. So that always cracks me up. But anyway, yeah, I got to show you a comparison shot to the back in the 90s. It was like this.
Yeah, no, I remember we did a little video covering, because you were posting a lot of these to Twitter, and we did a video covering that, kind of like directing people over to your tweets.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this is insanity, just seeing what it looks like now in comparison to
look
this,
at that. And now they make this cool darkness, but I liked it how it was like this. Here again, it says dai hito, big hit movie. See, they haven't stopped doing that.
No.
What is it? Joe Chu, like now showing big hit movie. And then here is the goods area today, right?
Yep.
And back then,
yeah, there's no comparison.
Well,
here's maybe it's just my nerd sensibilities.
Yeah, so like here, this is like like dark and coolish, but I don't know. I like this. There's something a little cheap and charming about like this, So what is this? This is a Schwarzenegger. What is this? End of Days or something? That crap.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So
I've never saw
yeah,
it.
you see, here's the Godzilla 2000 pamphlet next to Fight Club. And no, this is End of Days. That's the Schwarzenegger one right there. That's what it says over there. But yeah, no. And I think that's where it's Destroyer. I got my this one is like the Burning Godzilla.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of those. And there's that giant red one. Wouldn't know where to put that. You know that one, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've never owned it or had any inclination to, but yeah.
Anyway,
I like how they have it underlit too in that shot. It really makes it look like it's glowing.
Right. No, good times. And and then around here they do this in Japan a lot. These are signatures of stars and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, this is an old digital camera, so it's not so big. And I don't know. So I'm in Osaka and I'm heading down. I'm walking around and walking through Umeda. Osaka's got more than Tokyo. It's got these shoten guys, which are these like shoten guys, like a covered walkway, shopping district thing. So, and this place, I love to get okonomiyaki here. And I used to do, when I go see a new Godzilla film or whatever, I would usually go and get something to eat before the film here. It was closed both days I was there. It was very annoying. But anyway, and Osaka's got a lot of rivers running through it. That's a big thing. And they've actually cemented over some of the rivers because, maybe after the war and stuff, just to reclaim land and stuff. But
yeah,
this is, and when I lived in Osaka, see these walkways on the side? They didn't exist back then. It was just like flush, like Venice up to the buildings there. So they added those things. And this is actually close to the embassy and close to my apartment. One of the things I wanted to do is, the beginning of Megagiras is shot in Osaka, and it's actually on this stretch of river. This isn't the same bridge like Misato Tanaka runs across, the star of it. But I was going to go over to that spot. I haven't been there since shooting, really, but I just didn't have the time. So this is kind of like my feeble attempt to sort of represent what it was like. And then this is when I was going home that night. I took a shot at night. So anyway, back walking around, and then I went to America Mura, and it's called America, like America Town. I think the story is some American guy set up a surf shop back in the 60s, and then it became like a mecca for young people and stuff.
Nice.
And, so I went over there, and this is a very famous takoyaki place, the octopus balls. They're really good. This place has been here forever. And the main square is this, people hang out around here. It was like that 25 years ago when I lived here. So, and then I went over to this place called Antique Mike, and I found this. This is a display back from Biolante,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
I'm like
I'm sure they
looking,
have
and
it
it was
back.
like thick. It was really thick. I was like, man, I would love to bring this home. I mean, Miyako would kill me. But I actually found something. I gave it to Ed. It was a banner for Jomo gas station with a little like chibi Godzilla from
Yeah.
Biolante. It's like a tie-in thing, and I got it for like $30. It was so
Wow.
incredibly cheap, and I'm like, I gave it to Ed, and I keep bugging Ed to give it back to me. I love it so much, but he's like, he cherishes the thing. These things are now harder and harder to find.
Absolutely.
They're just beautiful. I didn't even want to know what they're charging for it, but there's no way you could get this on a plane,
Right.
But it was, so I took a photo. Take a photo, it'll last longer. But anyway, that was over at this shop in America Motor called Antique Mike, and they've got a lot of toys and US things and Japanese things and stuff. And this is back, yeah. And I didn't make it onto this bridge, which this is a big area this year. I just didn't make it there this time, but I walked past on the side here. Now they got these tour boats. And like I said, these walkways, they never had these walkways back then, but time marches on. Anyway, and then I went over to this store called Astro Zombies, which is like, I love the place
Doesn't
so
your
much.
friend run that?
Yeah, Fujiwara. So went in, and I'm just had this thing. These are I'm like the George A. Romero Foundation ambassador in Japan. So he sells our first version of our t-shirts there at the store. Cool. And then we went up. He lives upstairs with his lovely wife Junko, and so we hung out there for like an hour or two, just chatting and stuff. And he's a big cat lover, and one of their cats just passed away, and he got a new cat, and the one I'm holding, very, very charming cat. So, and I've known Fujiwara since the 90s, when I first lived in Osaka. And yeah, he's a very awesome guy. Speaks pretty good English, and he travels to the US, not recently, of course, but buying goods and stuff. So, and he's holding Miyako gave, I can't really tell there. These are some stickers that Miyako did, and he wanted me to give them there. And then we went out for okonomiyaki, and he wrote my name Noman on that. So I love it. And then we went to this bar thing over here, which is kind of like, you've been to Golden Guy in Shinjuku with all the bars, like where Miyako would work at Cambiati and stuff. It's almost like the same thing inside, like here. Actually, I think I prefer this. It's just all these like ultra cool bars and stuff. And we hung out in one, the three of us. And I met a guy who was like a fan of my writing, very excited to meet me, which was fun. And then with the owner, we just took this photo. I don't even know what this poster's for, but that was like my first night. And then the next day, this is leaving, and it's just very weird. It's like this like circular walkway with fountains going up. And I asked Fujiwara, why didn't I know of this place when I lived in Osaka? He's like, because back then it was like just karaoke stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was turned into this bar thing only like maybe 10 or so years ago. So it's like after my time, even though the building's pretty old.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then more the walkway stuff. Okay, and I have to show this. Like I go to Osaka, and they have this thing called morning service, which you can hardly find in Tokyo. It's just like buttered toast, a hard-boiled egg, and coffee, and it's like $3. And it is like the thing I look forward to the most when I go to like Kyoto or Osaka, and everybody laughs at me. And I don't know why, but so there's this cafe called Holly's Cafe, which is like a chain, and all their salt is in pepper shakers.
Oh, really?
I mean, like that's what that means, right? A pea, everything's pea on it. And I'm like looking at this, I'm like, you fools, like, whatever. But anyway, I had to show my morning service. So, and then we go over to the Kaiyodo Hobby, what is it called? The Hobby Land Museum, and it's in this town called Kadoma, It says Kadoma Shi. Shi means city. So
Yeah.
it's called Kadoma. And I actually lived in Kadoma for like 5 years. So I've actually, back in the 90s, I would go over to the Kaiyodo factory when it wasn't really that big. Because, the Kaiyodo Godzilla models that came out in the 90s were like revolutionary.
Yeah.
And I became friends with some of the people, and, I knew the owner, and I would go every now and then, even before I moved to Kadoma. So it was like I haven't been to Kadoma in over 20 years. So it was like a
Jeez.
little weird, like getting on the train, going over there. I mean, I lived here for like 5 years. And if you can see, it says here Osaka Monorail. And they had just, like my last month of living there, they opened up this monorail that connected it up to Banpaku Koen, which you would know from, the Gamera movie with the sun thing. Up in the park, they were doing the Expo, Osaka Expo 1970.
Yeah, that's Segura, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, yeah. And, the month I leave, I get 1 month with the monorail. So now it's like the monorail starts or ends, in Kadoma. And Kadoma is like they have like a loop line, like in Tokyo, in Osaka, called the Kansho-sen. And you go to Kyobashi Station, and then to go to Kadoma, if you get the right train, it's less than 10 minutes over here, but Kyoto it's in Kadoma. So, I mean, this Hobbyland thing was very awesome, but it's just kind of funny that I'm going to show you some photos. They built it in this department store that is so run down. And it was even like, showing its age when I lived there 20 years ago. But I mean, Kadoma is really just like this outskirt town. So it's kind of I find it a little humorous. Well, one, I lived there, I find humorous. And then two, that, that Kyoto, one of the big, model makers in the world, is in Kadoma as well,
Yeah.
And it is also the world headquarters of Panasonic. And there's another fact about Kadoma. And now, you see Panasonic, and there you go. There it is, folks. The world headquarters for Panasonic. And Panasonic, has unfortunately seen better days. And you never see Panasonic stuff anymore,
No, not these days.
Yeah. So, I mean, Japan has really been losing it to Korea. But Panasonic, and they've been nice to me. I've had some trouble with their equipment, and they fixed stuff for free for me, and they've been very cool when I dealt with them. But anyway, so this is like Kadoma Station, right? And like this place, like nothing has changed in 20 years, except here you got the monorail over here on the right and stuff. So, and I'm going to show you, here's a photo I took back in like 97. Look at this. This is a pachinko parlor.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this monkey. What do they think this is? Planet of the Apes or something? I mean, like, oh my God, I don't know what pachinko parlor to go to. We'll go to the one with the monkey on it,
Yeah.
But you look at it here today, and it's still the same shape, but they got rid of the monkey. But you can see like the udon place. Look at this udon restaurant over here. So there it is, still there today, and
jeez.
And then you come down. I don't know, this like pinkish weird walkway. You come down. Look how dirty this is over here. And this is it back in my day. This is a photo I took back in the 90s. But like this, it looked nice and clean there. And oddly enough, it's written in Japanese over here, and on the new one now it's in English also, because Japan has tried to become more international.
Totally.
So the Kadoma thing is in this store called Izumiya, and Izumiya is like, we don't have them in Tokyo, but they're like supermarket department stores, very low class, like cheap clothing and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the right way. And this is a photo I took way back when, but I mean, yeah. So you come in and Izumi, I'm just cracking up, so like, really, and I didn't really have a lot of time, so I was pressed for time. So I kind of was trying to make this quick. I took this photo because I love when they get, these are like police things. So I guess This guy on down here has been missing for decades. So you always, and now you'd be like 50. So I guess, I don't know why you always see this guy's photo. They've been looking for him for forever. But I love this one, the let's stop scams together. Watch out for scam calls. And I think people target older people. And usually, like you see ATM crimes are kind of a big thing. That's what this is about. ATM crimes are a big, people get conned into going to the ATM and taking out money. So, but I don't know. It just cracks me up where they use an idol girl, and this is her name on the bottom here, to be like this. I mean, it's just Japan stuff. So anyway, and here's from outside the Kaiyodo Hobby Land, Kaiyodo Hobby Land, Kadoma. so anyway, okay, so you go up. I found this place. It's up on the 4th floor of this place, and I was super surprised right away. They got the actual shooting model for Higuchi's first film, Lorelei, on display.
That's like crazy.
I saw this at Touhou. I didn't take any photos of it. And I remember I was at Touhou and I went to say hi to Higuchi, and I went into, I think, Studio 5, and this was set up. It was really beautiful set. And they're getting ready to shoot. And I look over, Higuchi is just sound asleep, snoring. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not going to bother him. I go walking out. He's like, Norman. He yells. He had woken up and was like yelling at me and showed. He's like, isn't it beautiful? Isn't this beautiful? It sure was beautiful. Look at this model. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I took a bunch of photos of that.
How, like roughly how long would you say that thing is?
I don't know. Long. I mean, look at the escalator.
I just, I didn't see it in person. It's like 12 feet, maybe.
Maybe at least, something like that. But anyway, and there is a back view of the thing, and they had a little miniature thing. I wanted to touch it, and I was going to touch it, but it says down here, please don't touch. So I was denied. I don't know. Anyway, so, and then they had some Lorelei stuff. And actually, it was interesting. I was on the Lorelei. Oh, no. Oh, I went to the staff and cast screening at Touhou because I'm in Lorelei. And Yoshida was there. And Yoshida's in the movie, who plays Godzilla in GMK.
Yes.
So you can see him in there. Oh, and there's a script. I think I have the script somewhere. This is the script behind it. See the blue lettering there.
Yeah.
That must be like inside the DVD premium edition. But anyway, this is me and Lorelei. This is me and Lorelei. They put all this like Vaseline on my face to make me look like I was all sweaty and stuff. And I'm the first human you see in Lorelei, and Higuchi likes to say that to me. The first human that was in any of my movies. So you can write that on my gravestone. And this is at the Lorelei rap party. So that's Yakusho Koji, big actor in Japan. And I'm wearing my Emily t-shirt. And this is during shooting of Lorelei. And this is Higuchi, as you probably know. And this is in Studio 9. There's that blue, I'm a big fan of this.
Oh, the big fan thing, right?
Yeah.
They
put those on display now. I've seen that like in everything, Godzilla 2000, different movies, and this is Junko, the scripter on the film, who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. I went to her funeral. Actually, I went to her funeral, and I bumped into Higuchi at the station. And
she's in your book, isn't she?
Yeah, she's in my book a lot, and she's one of the people that it's dedicated to, and she was such a sweetheart. And so this was during my shooting. And did I ever tell you the joke I did on them?
I don't think so.
On the shooting?
Not on Lorelei.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to tell this story. Okay. So this is what like Higuchi set up here, and Junko is here, and then the Nanli, the producer, I think, was there at the time. And I was wearing this, as you see, I was wearing like this outfit. So I'm wearing this outfit, and so So what I did is suddenly I zipped my zipper down and I reached into my pants pocket, and Junko goes, "Norman, what are you doing?" And I just pull out my underwear because I was wearing these Godzilla shorts that Miike, the art director Miike, had given to me at a might have been a Tokyo SOS rap party. He had won that and he didn't want them and he gave it to me. And I pull it out and I pulled it out perfectly so you could see Godzilla's face. And I said, "I'm wearing these under my outfit because we're working in Studio 9, which is the special effects." And Higuchi just starts cracking up and he goes, because this is a submarine movie. He goes, "I thought you were going to say, check out my torpedo."
Oh God.
So anyway, they were, and then they were just like laughing. Everyone was laughing hysterically. I guess you had to be there, but it was
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Would you have the balls to do something like that?
No. But then again, you lived in Japan for 20 years at that point, and had a no, I wouldn't have had the balls. No.
Right, so anyway, so there you go. Another like Norman, like what is this guy doing on these sets? But anyway, so and then this is like a bunch of us that were all in the scene, and there I am all sweaty with that ugly cap on.
Bunch of seamen.
Yeah. What? Okay. And this is in Studio 9. So, the Godzilla studio. So, yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
kind of fun. I think this guy was European and we
Yeah.
were all supposed to be Americans. And maybe this guy, I think, yeah, he's also in Death Note. He plays a big part in Death Note. The guy, they think he's L in Death Note.
Oh,
And then he dies on TV, when they were doing like fake L stuff. Yeah, good looking guy. I think he might have been Aussie, but I might be wrong. It was so long ago.
Is Lorelai worth watching? I've seen like clips. I've never seen the whole thing.
I don't know.
Okay. Fair.
Your mileage will vary, type of thing.
I get it.
I haven't seen it since and this was like the interior of the submarine. And one of the things, like if you look at it and you see me, it's like really extreme close-ups. And the reason is this is supposed to be an American sub, but it's the same set used for the Lorelei thing. And they were trying to hide the fact that they didn't build a second set. So, but you can see this is the old Touhou Studio 9. I mean, all the rafters up here, they've replaced with metal now. So it's kind of end of an era. And here we are going into the Kaiyodo Hobbyland Kadoma.
Thanks for sharing those Lorelei photos. I've never seen those before. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was also the last day of shooting on the film. I think it was something like that. But anyway, so you go into this place, costs 1,000 yen as an adult there, and you got to do your little take your temperature, do your little alcohol stuff. The Japanese are still very serious about that, and
is that pretty common, like the temperature checks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy is the founder of Kaiyodo. What's his name? Osamu Miyawaki. And what this is like a lot of, like I've been to the Kaiyodo places and a lot of this stuff was in his office or in the area there. And, they put everything now on display in here. So, Japanese are very, nostalgia is a big thing in Japan, especially for the Showa time. We did that talk about Godzilla the Ride, and they have got like that Showa Shoten guy over there. And the Showa period is back in the in this 60s and stuff. So here they got a bunch of old toys and stuff.
Oh man, that's cool.
This is and this I understand from reading up that this is the actual first plastic model kit of a Spitfire.
No. Really?
Yeah. It might be the first one in the world, actually.
Holy crap.
So, and then look at some Tetsujin stuff down here and other stuff. And the Dutch girl. I know you're a big fan of the Dutch girl, Matt.
Well,
Aurora model. I didn't even know. Oh, yeah, that's right. They had these things like the knights and stuff. I was into this guy's got this incredible Aurora collection. Anyway, These are things I think he built. And I love this. Can plastic models become art? You know, so these are like all on display. And there was like, you know, I went on a weekday and there was no one there but me. So I don't
That's
have a photo of him, but there was this old guy there. And I'm 63, I just turned 63. So this guy was older than me. So this guy was like in his 70s, and he showed me around the place. We had a great time together. It was really
awesome.
fun. Yeah, I mean, really friendly. And look at they have all these model kits.
Oh wow.
Like I was like drooling. They've got these Aurora model kits that are unopened too, you know, back from in the day.
Goodness.
You know, I was like dying over here. Look, there's the old, I don't know if that's the original Godzilla one, but let me see.
Oh God, is that Gappa down there?
There we go. Yes, Gappa. And oh yeah, here we go. Like, look at these. See the creature Aurora Phantom?
Yeah.
Stuff over here. I'm like, it was like, oh man, it's Wonder Woman. This one's the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I didn't have that one, but I had that series. Like these ones were like in the 60s. And then later, I think in the 70s, they got a little more modern, you know, and they upgraded with their glow in the dark crap, which I wasn't a big. I had made many Aurora Godzilla kits, and I always hated the glow in the dark parts. Oh, like you see over here, you know, like over here. Oh, and I had that Rodan one back in the day. Yeah, here are Aurora, you know, horse models and stuff, you know. So this guy's got, and I should have taken a further away photo because there were just, I think they say he owns thousands of model kits. And this is just like a small portion. Oh my God, he's got the prehistoric stuff from down here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had this one over here. Yeah, those are great. And then these are, you know, what do you call these? The phone, the hell do you call these? Oh, vacuum foam. It says it right over here. The vacuum foam.
Vacuum foam.
Yeah, I never really made any vacuum foam stuff, but
I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry to sound like an idiot, but what exactly is like? What's a vacuum foam model?
The vacuum foam. I mean, it was something that came out really in the 60s, and you could buy toys with it to do your own vacuum. But so what is like a flat piece of plastic, and you heat it up, and then you like push it down over. Like,
gotcha. Okay.
And it forms and then hardens pretty quickly. And then you would cut it out with razor blades. And yeah, I never got into vacuum foam as a kid, though. But I don't think anyone really works with it. You know what this is, right?
I know. Well, that's the Gotengo or Atragon, right?
Right. And you know this one?
That one I don't know. Is that Thunderbird?
Fail.
I always fail.
Lost all respect for Matt. Come on. Someone in the chat has to know this. I'm looking at the chat now because I'm only looking at my photos.
Is that Fantastic Voyage?
Yes. Okay. You live another day. Yes, and it was funny. I was talking to the old guy there about, because there was like models of the Proteus. It's called the Proteus, and he was like, and I could tell that the guy knew his stuff, you know. So it's like, yeah, the Proteus, beautiful design and stuff, and
that's so cool.
They have this.
Oh, is that Guanji back there?
Yeah, no, it might.
Or is it the dinosaur from?
No, it's just like it just says Allosaurus.
Oh, okay, okay,
and. This is the Majinga Z guy.
Who's that red guy right there?
Oh, I took this one. I forgot the name of it, but this is a famous UFO encounter in the US, like back in maybe the 50s or something.
Oh, okay.
And the design is very popular in Japan. I've got actually like a magnet I picked up. I keep forgetting the name of this alien. I'm sorry, but there is a name for it. Someone probably knows it. But anyway, and here are some of the old Kaiyodo, the earlier models from the 90s. So yeah, and they would do like vinyl stuff, and then they'd also do resin kits. And I have actually I have a photo of it later, but remember, like, so you look at the resin kits like this, and they're much harder to build the resin kits than these plastic ones. But the Kaiyodo stuff, yeah, I had this 62 one back in the day. All lost from the many moves I've done.
Yeah.
And you know, Kaiyodo runs Wonder Festival, that's Kaiyodo's thing. And the guy was telling me that it had actually Wonder Festival had been started by another group, and Kaiyodo took it over.
Huh.
So
Okay.
I can't remember the dates exactly, but I know my first Wonderfest was in 99. I had to go because I did an interview with Keita Amemiya for Fangoria, and I met up with Amemiya there. I was just looking at photos of that today, but that was in 99. I was still living in Osaka at the time.
Do you remember what you interviewed Amemiya for?
It was for Zaydam and Moon Over Tau.
I'm gonna have to find that article or that issue. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't remember what issue it was. Oh, and then this is Toll Narita autograph.
No way. Really?
Yeah, I don't know why he wrote it in English.
You know what? Literally, I'm not even kidding you. This literally just came in the mail today. It's his biography.
Like, oh, really?
Yeah. No, I've been reading all about him because I don't know if you know this. The Shin Ultraman design is based on his original concepts. Like,
oh, okay.
It's like all over the place with like this painting that he did in '83 and stuff. So that's wild. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'd never seen his signature before, so I was like, oh, okay. Took a photo, and whatever that date is, Showa 58. I'd have to look up what that is, in Japanese dates. July 23rd, Showa 58.
That's crazy.
And then you go into one of the areas, and you have this giant T-Rex, I guess. They keep on reimagining these things. I don't even recognize dinosaurs anymore.
No, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. Some kind of saurian.
Yeah, and then they had, here's another little angle of it. It's cool. I like dinosaurs. And then they had this. There's the Triceratops over there. That's another favorite of mine when I was a kid. And then they had these little diorama things.
That's so cool.
And I don't know, I like this one with these snaky things in it.
Yeah.
And then these are like, I guess this is like the bosses. I was trying to find my photos from when I went to Kyoto in the 90s, because, he owns the giant Daimajin from the shooting. It's like in this warehouse, and you can walk up, like they have a step ladder next to it. And I had these like crappy photos of it, but I was trying to find them. I couldn't locate them on my hard drive, one of my many hard drives. So sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, the boss, look, here's one of those Gamera heads. I think Haraguchi made those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Haraguchi made those. And here is further on. And this is, and the Kyoto guy, the Miyawaki guy, is like good friends with Chris Wallace. And I hope you know who Chris Wallace is.
That's from Naked Lunch right there, isn't it?
Naked Lunch. So Chris built these things. He did Gremlin 1. So he designed those. Return of the Jedi, Indiana Jones. That movie with Enemy Mine. He did that.
Enemy Mine.
He did a bunch of stuff. And Chris would come to Japan. I did an event with Chris once when he was out here. We just had a great time. Very sweet guy. He's on Facebook. Unfortunately, he's gone deaf. Had several operations, but I mean, what a giant talent this guy is. So he became friends. He really likes Japan, Chris. So he's been here often, and he became friends with this Miyawaki guy, I guess, back a while ago, and they trade stuff. And so he's got some of his stuff, and here you got 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah,
and Don Quixote stuff over there, Daimajin stuff. So this is stuff that you can just look at. I don't know what this really is, but it was cool. So I took a photo of it, kind of a weird kappa standing on top of a dragon. If that is, I guess that's a kappa. So, and a skeleton. Everyone should have a skeleton. Oh, and this is actually, I was reading about, here's more. Here's the Nightmare Gamera. Yeah, these are the Haraguchi things. And Ed bought this Gauss. I helped him buy that. And he got it for steel for like $800 or something. I don't know. But anyway, this is actually, there's a story about this with Miyawaki. but I forgot. And then this is the Fly.
Oh yeah, Brundlefly. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris made this. This is
Really?
stuff. Yeah, his Chris and his team, made that. So yeah, and he traded him stuff for it. And here's some Gremlins that he got.
Yep.
And these are screen used items.
So cool.
And yeah, when I would go to his place, back in the 90s, he just had these in the office. Like the Naked Lunch one was just like lying across the floor. Now, now they're in cabinets and stuff. More just Gremlin stuff.
I saw the Spider Gremlin model in person in Vegas a couple years ago.
Oh, really? Then from 2. Yeah, that thing's cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they had this bridge. And
that's really neat.
You sort of see there's like this glass thing here, and you can see there's stuff underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I walked in. Here was a bunch of stuff, and then here's this Kappa guy, and he's doing his version of "Pull My Finger." Go ahead, pull my finger. I laugh at my own jokes. Okay, I know. That's like liking your own posts on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, we all do it,
Okay, and then I don't know, they just had these things. So there's a lot of stuff to see. And then they had this room with a bunch of, these are called danjiri. They pull them out for Japanese matsuris and stuff. Very ornate things. So yeah, so there's room. There's a room full of stuff like this. Was kind of speeding through, and then they had other rooms with other models like this. We got the geisha girls. You ever see the Manster?
Heard of it, never seen it.
Oh, come on.
Oh, stop. I got Fantastic Voyage. You can't keep on like
okay, the Manster. I mean, Jerry Ito is in the Manster. You know Jerry Ito, right?
Yes, he's in Mothra, yes.
And he's got a small part. It's an American monster movie, fantastic film, but there's this great scene where the star of the film is this American reporter, and this Japanese scientist is tricking him into taking this I guess concoction that'll turn him into this manster creature, man monster hybrid thing, the Manster. And he's whining and dining the guy, and so he's a reporter, he's talking to his editor, and here's this great line. He goes, what did he say? He's like, I'm going to a party, and the editor's just nonchalantly goes, geisha party? It's just like, I have a Japanese version of, I've watched it with Miyako, we just crack up at it. It is so, the 1950s point of view, but yeah, a geisha party. So
it's awesome.
Here we got a geisha party right here. And then they have all these little miniature things set up, and I mean, everyone's got to love stuff like this.
Of course.
I can't wait to go again so I can spend more time gazing at this stuff. Is really sweet. And they have more of these very intricately made heads and stuff. And here we got the guys, and then they had the war room. I'm not a big fan of war stuff, but I took some photos. I don't know what's up. Like, there's a lot of like war otaku in Japan, and you always find them at like Wonderfest. They got their corner with it's very creepy. They wear Nazi outfits and stuff, and they don't think anything about it, and it's really, I find it a little disturbing, but what are you going to do? So, I mean, yeah, look at all this, World War II stuff, so, yeah, I mean, these are real Nazi outfits over here and stuff. So I was kind of, but there you go, that. And then they had going into these other rooms. Oh, I forgot what this guy's name is, but anyway, going on. This is that giant Kaiyodo from the 90s. Yeah. This thing's pretty sweet. Don't know where I would put this, but it's very
there's actually one located here in Phoenix. A comic store has it up on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's huge. It's really cool.
And then here's a bunch of Godzilla stuff, and this is the one I was going to say. This one, I had this one. I loved it. And this guy I knew, this is made out of vinyl. And this is Sakayuji. It says here, Sakayuji made these are all Sakayuji. He made these. I mean, he, made the
Right.
originals, but you know what I had? Stupidly, I don't know how I lost it or whatever, but
What's that?
he gave me a resin version of this. He said there were only 5 of those in existence.
What happened to it?
I don't know. And my mini moves.
I guess there's only 4 in existence now.
Only 4 in existence now. So, they gave that to
Holy
me
crap.
back in the 90s. So there. Here you go. So more
That's
models.
really cool.
And I should have taken a big wide photo of this room, but if you see on the back, there's like modelers. They had like all these lined up with their things that they made. You know me, I focus in on the Godzilla stuff.
Of course.
So yeah. No, and I remember building these. Yeah, here's that same one again. You have to cut out the dorsal fins on the back. It was fun. And I built this one too, the King Kong Godzilla. Yeah, that was good. Sold out.
Stuff right there.
Sold out. Yeah. And then you see back, they got those other, I don't know what is this stuff in the background there. It's all
some kind of mecha.
Yeah. And I don't know. Then Kaiyodo went and they became famous for making like animal figures and stuff.
Yeah.
I even found them in New York at the Museum of Natural History. They had a whole Kaiyodo line. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I actually, now that you mentioned that, I remember that. No.
And here's more of those modeler guys up on the top there. And then they have a little area where you can see how they make models and stuff, make these things. So.
And seriously, some really wicked stuff.
And then here they had a display for my friend Hiroshi Sagae, who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. Very sad. And he's in my book a lot, and he really, he really helped me out a lot in many ways. And but I was very happy to see that they had this. Oh, he's wearing a G-Fest badge.
That's awesome.
I would always give him a hard time for going to G-Fest, but I mean, it was like a joke between us. But anyway, he was such a sweet guy. I mean, I liked him a lot, and he had his own unique style, and he was good friends with Miyako. He was actually a fan of, my partner Miyako's, because Miyako was kind of like this manga idol in the 90s. And Sagae was like, he would write her like fan letters and stuff like that back then. So cool. It was very funny when he first met Miyako. I introduced him he had a booth at Wonderfest. I was like, oh, this is my girlfriend Miyako. And then we walk away. He comes running over. You don't mean you're, whatever her pen name was back then. And so he was just cracking up the coincidence. But anyway, and then going home, I went to McDonald's and I got my chicken thing, which is all tied in with.
Please tell me that you saved the box.
I threw the box out. I threw the box out. And there it is, and it says "Kayate Kita Zo." I've returned. And that's
did it make you feel ultra after you ate it?
I did. No, I was like, I didn't hardly ate. I had to like rush back and meet a friend for coffee. And so that's why I didn't spend as much time. I have to just say, like back in this place, I spent a lot of time talking to the old guy and then the women at the reception. We chatted for like 10 minutes. And just because I mentioned it was really nice that there's that Sagae thing. And she said, yeah, his wife came in and set it up. And so it was really nice. And then, but I had to split and get back to Kyobashi so I could meet up with my friend. And then I had to go buy Miyako some Osaka only food things and then get on the Shinkansen home. And I was so hungry. So I just went to McDonald's because I wanted to eat on the train because that's like a tradition. You got to eat on the Shinkansen you get it, what they call ekiben, station food. And I wanted to do ekiben, but I was like dying of starvation. I didn't want to eat a big meal and then eat another meal, so I got this kind of smallish thing and it really didn't hit the spot. So anyway, and there we are, this on the Shinkansen going home, even though that's not my Shinkansen. I'm on this side, but they all look the same, and I think that's everything. There you go. And I will Stop
That was
sharing my screen. There you go, gentlemen.
thank
An
you.
hour and a half later.
Paul had asked this before. Did Fujiwara at one point have multicolor hair?
It's entirely possible. I don't know. I'm sorry, Paul. Maybe. I'm very bad about noticing clothes and fashions, and and especially maybe like you always have to keep an eye on your girlfriend. Like, wait, did she change something? And if I don't say anything, it's not going to be trouble. And then you say something and like, no, I didn't change anything. You're like, oh, okay, forget it. But that is not forgotten. So I'm very bad about noticing appearances and stuff like that. So don't ask me, Paul. Thanks.
This was from a while ago, but this was from Laura. She was asking if you enjoyed the Amamiya exhibit, and in regards to Toku, what has been your favorite museum / exhibit that you've been to?
Oh, that's hard to say, but yeah, Laura, I guess you mean the one that I went to with Andres the other day. That was over at Asagaya. Yeah, that was really fun. His stuff is really good, and his stuff's always been good, but in the stuff at the stuff at the Asagaya shows, like, God, his technique has gotten like even like more fantastic. Like, I went with Miyako and Andres, and she was like, how did he make these things? They're beautiful and really fantastic stuff. But in regards to like my favorite exhibition, it's really hard to say because I've been to so many, but I know that one, we did that show about the one that Ano and Higuchi did 10 years ago, and that was probably the biggest one. But I've done other things. I've gone, I have a friend who collects props, M1, of the M1 toy line, and his place is bigger than he's got. The Mechagodzilla 2 suit. He's got Gamera suits. He's got everything. And he lends out his stuff for like the Tokusatsu DNA shows. He puts that on from his private collection. So I've been up to his place, and that's like overwhelming. That's overwhelming. So yeah, it's hard to say. Thinking quickly, but I'd say anything that like the DNA shows have been fantastic, and the Ano show, we did that show. I showed my photos from, and that was that's at the same place. This I have my ticket here. It's the Museum of Contemporary Art, Tokyo. This is my Inoue ticket from the other day. It got all crumpled up in my pocket, and like that. And it was the Inoue thing is really good. It's mostly paper. It's mostly paper stuff because he's a designer. So, but they have like the Gorath, the Gorath actual Gore, which I found it in a box at Touhou. I was like, have I shown you that photo? And
you were telling me that story.
Gorath, and I pulled it out, like taking a photo. Here I am with Gorath, and they have that on display, and a couple models and stuff. But in terms of models and stuff like that, that Ano display was fantastic. That was one of and then the DNA ones.
It's super cool. And then Art just said, don't worry, Norman, an hour and a half with you flies by and only feels like a couple of minutes.
Thank you very much. And I see Paul wrote, that Fujiwara is a huge horror buff. And he is, we talk about, we're both like, I hate the term, we're both like monster kids, and he's a little younger than me, but he's got such an amazing collection. I love going to his place because it's just like, give me this stuff. And it's really, and I keep pestering him, open a store in Tokyo. It's really cool. I always buy something there. I got Miyako some things, but I really, I just, always got to watch the money, Oh, and I forgot, when you go into the Kaiyodo thing, you get like this coin Can you
Hold on.
see? You get a coin of this thing, and you can put it in these little machines. And the woman's like, you can buy more, or you could take it home as a souvenir. So I took it home as a souvenir.
What do you it at the
The gotcha
location?
home things, the little things,
Oh, gotcha.
things like that. And I guess other things. Like I said, I really, the next time I go there, I'm going to pay a little more attention. But I'm hoping, yeah. And so speaking of this, I asked the guy, how long is this going to be here? The old guy, the very friendly, charming older man. I like when I can call someone older than me, So I'm going to just keep the old dude over there. That guy was so old, But anyway, he said they have a 4-year contract, a 4-year lease on the space, and they'll probably extend it. So it's going to be around for a while. And it's definitely, if you're going to go to, let's say, like Awajishima, where there's the Godzilla ride and the Godzilla stuff there. I mean, Osaka, you have to go to Osaka, and Osaka is a very manageable city. It's not as big as Tokyo. So it's very, like, I forgot, God, you can get around this place so quickly.
Yeah.
So much faster than Tokyo. So like I said, like, from Kyobashi, which is a major station, it's just, if you get on the express and you go to Moraguchi Station, and then you get onto the local, and then it's 2 stops. So it's like 1 express stop and 2 locals. Even if you get stuck on the local, it's still not going to be, it's like 15 minutes, it's no longer than 20 minutes on. It's not like, oh my God, I'm on the train for hours. Right. I know it's less than 20 minutes, but very manageable, especially now with all those damn apps that you kids have today. Back in my day, we had to look at the schedule on the wall and just count on our fingers. How long is it going to take? Where am I? And ask people. I'm totally lost now. Now it's great. You don't have to talk to anybody anymore. Because this will tell you everything you need to know.
No more human interaction necessary.
I know. Thank God. People. Oh, they creep me out.
Yeah.
But no, anyway, I mean, so yeah, no, I mean, it would be great to, I hope I can go again, and maybe I might have some friends here next month. So I might actually, even if I can swing it, I will go again next month and maybe spend a little more time. It's kind of like, and I didn't know about Fujiwara. Turned me on to it. I didn't know it just opened. Like I sent you that poster yesterday, and it opened on April 24th, which was my birthday. So it just opened
Cool.
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, of all places, in Izumiya, I'm cracking up. Like, Izumiya is like our crappy little local department store. I don't know. You don't know what like Corvettes is, right?
Corvettes?
Okay. I mean, these are like department stores in the US that have gone out of business. Caldor, Caldor. No, you don't know. A ShopRite, ShopRite. I mean, these are all East Coast, Pathmark. I think they've all gone out of business. But and you're over, in another part of the world. But I mean, it's kind of like Corvettes was like you go in, you got the one flat thing, and you got the ladies department, the men's department. It's all like no real brand stuff. It's all like kind of, cheapish stuff.
Yeah.
And those places have pretty much disappeared, but that was like a big thing after the war in the 50s and the 60s and then the 70s. And then the 80s, things started to, especially with those department stores, switch to the malls.
Yeah.
And then they all like kind of disappeared and stuff. But yeah, Woolworths, there you go. Woolworth, right?
I've heard, a lot of these are East Coast stuff, and we don't really have that stuff out here.
Izumiya is kind of like that. So you find those in those like outskirt towns. And actually, when I lived in this area called Nishinariku, was my last spot in Osaka. Nishinariku is considered the slum of Osaka.
Gotcha.
And you had a lot of homeless people. And I had this great place that was big, and the rent was like $500 a month. It was really good. But it was, and we had an Izumiya right by the station. You go in, you can find, electronics, crappy clothes, and food department, but it's just all, not like, I mean, if you got money, you don't go there.
Right.
And this one is like all rusting out, I mean, come on. And that's the thing, about Japanese buildings, is that the older they get, they just start looking bad. It's just the way construction is here. It's not like, you go to Europe and you find these, century old buildings and stuff like that. They make them out of, I don't mean to say that they're poorly made, but they're made not to last.
Right.
And so rather than build, something that's going to be permanent, also because of earthquakes, so they make something that's semi-permanent, and then it just starts looking older and older, and then they're just like, tear it down, build it again, so they're always, Japan is always in this state of constant building and rebuilding. So except for temples, they're always boasting how old they are, and then for modern Japan, they're always boasting how new something is, so
it's crazy.
But anyway,
we got one.
Anyone have any questions here? So
yeah, we got one more. You mentioned you met Amamiya for Zerum. Mind telling what happened that day?
I don't really remember, to be honest. I mean, I went to Wonderfest to do this interview and just to hang out. I mean, this is back in '99, so this is like 20 something years ago. I think actually, if I can find it quickly, I think I just saw my photos from that day. So if you're like interested, I can
if you have it,
throw them on. Wait, I've got this. Hold on. What am I looking at? Tokyo. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. I got to complain. I'm going to show you some photos that I got here. And look at how I'm so annoyed. I used this like developer in Osaka, and all the color drained out of it.
Oh, you were telling me about
this. I know I was with you, but you got to see what it looks like. This is like the worst. Where's my share? This is the worst example of it. So this is Kaneko, this is Nobuko, my old assistant, and this is Ayako, from Gamera series. Look at, and this is over at Shimokita. This is like one of the first days I went to Shimokitazawa before I lived there, and Ayako was living in the neighborhood. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, look at this. Oh, then we went to Hachiko, but look at the color on this.
Yeah,
I showed this to Kaneko once, and I said to him, "Oh, look at how young we are." And he goes, "We actually weren't that young then either." I mean, this is like, I'm like 38 here, and I guess Kaneko's like 44 or something like that, so. But yeah, but look at these. This is over at Kaneko's house. Anyway, yeah, I mean, look at this.
Yeah,
look at this crap, And and then did it go black, the screen?
Yeah, it went black.
Yeah, I hate when it does that. Hold on a second, because you got to see what I tried to do. Now I'm just talking nonsense. So, but I just got to show you this. So here's the shot, right? And so I put in one of these colorizers, and this is what I got.
It's not bad.
It's pretty better, good. But I mean, like, our skin color is like, and I don't think
it's better than the piss, soylent green color that you got going on there.
But I wish I could go back and blow up that developing place, like, damn, I have photos I took in the 70s. It's still the negatives are strong with their color,
Yeah,
stupid place. But anyway, let me see if I can just find those. I took a bunch of photos of Amamiya back then. I'm just looking in my thingy here.
I was trying to see what
I just was looking at them. So wait, I have here. Wait, we're getting closer. And
184, July 1999. I think that's the one that you wrote it in.
Oh wait, I found them.
You find them?
Yeah. So I'm gonna pop these on if you don't mind. Who asked that question?
It's Cole right here.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I'm just going to show you my memories are in my photos, so I'll just show you these like very quickly. Give me 1 second, please. And these are kind of like a little bit out of any kind of order because they were scans from negatives. So this is what Gamma 3 was opening up at Wonderfest. And you can see here's this Gamma balloon up here. Yay. And
cool.
Region over here. And this is Hurricane Ryu, suit actor. He's in, what is he? He's in the Mechagodzilla in the Heisei series.
Yeah, he plays the baby Godzilla. I want to say he was Ghidorah in 91 as well.
Right. So I don't know. He had these figures of himself here.
Did you get one?
No.
Opportunity lost, Norman.
Yeah, it is.
You now.
He's in my book also, actually.
He is, yeah.
He is in my book too. And Wonderfest, some things never change, always full of people. The good old pre-COVID days. Anyway, I'm trying to find. Oh, here, this is the entrance. Wonder Festival. See, winter 1999, and hello. And this is Amemiya Keita. And I've got these. See, I scanned these, and you see, I've got these weird lines here. I forgot what that's called, but I've got the negatives are a little warped, so I'm trying to deal with them. So, but otherwise, the photos came out good. I think I used some in Fangoria, or 1 or 2 in Fangoria, like that. So, and then that's us with those awful warpage on the negative, but that's all I remember. It's like we had coffee, we talked for like an hour and a half, very sweet. Oh, and then and I'll show you, he did this awesome drawing for me.
Oh yeah, that's right. You son of a bitch.
I think I've got that. Yeah, I've got it right somewhere. I've got it right here. I'll show you that in a second. And I don't know. These are other things. I'll just page through these quickly. What is it? I don't know. And Tokyo Station. There you go. You got some Region stuff there. Yeah. So all nice stuff. It was fun. This is a good event. I mean, it was fun back then. And this is how Mount Fuji looks in this. It's had to be the summer where there's like no snow.
It's gorgeous.
There. What are these photos? Yeah, there's a big Gamma display stuff going on there.
Hey, those are my 2 favorite Kamen Riders right there. That's incredible. Oh. That's Zeto on the left and then Jay on the right. And both of those were directed by Amemiya.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You pronounce his name Amemiya.
Amemiya. Okay, sorry. Amemiya.
And I don't know, what is it? Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, this Gamma, and they don't do this anymore. They used to do these like for here, they do a movie tie-in thing. And they don't really do that anymore. Like in the US, Comic-Con, they'll do stuff like that. But they tried it here. It didn't seem to really go over so well. So, I took a bunch of photos. Oh, and these are the things that were on the wall at the Kaiyodo place.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
And then they had this panel discussion here. So this is this guy, Nonley. And Nonley was the producer of the Gamma series, one of the producers. And he was the guy that he produced Lorelei. So I told you my little Lorelei pants story. So he was there for that. Then here's Mike, the art director, Mike. And here's Haraguchi. And here's Shinada.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a little talk event right there. So I didn't really know them. I didn't know them at all at this time.
It's crazy.
And now, now I know all these guys,
Yeah, so. I know. I was going to be like, yeah.
This is 99. So I don't think, I went to Godzilla Millennium, but I didn't meet any of the art staff. And I met Wakasa. I interviewed Wakasa. So he was like the first suit maker I interviewed. So, and this is where the big site is. And I think that's everything. Oh, and this is Sakai Yuji Sakai, and that's his wife behind him. So
Nice.
this is back 20 years ago. And this was like a one-off they had there, but I love it with the whales.
Yeah.
That's sweet. I wanted to get that, and this guy, I think he was a Bandai guy. I can't remember. And then I did the cosplay outside. Oh, you got to see some of these. They do those crazy cosplay things outside.
Yeah.
So I like to take photos where you see all the guys and look at all these like antiquated video cameras. Look at this guy with this little point and shoot. Like, come on, dudes.
Some high tech 29.97 frame rate.
Yeah, right? And wait, no, I've got some photos of. Hold on a second. Hold on. No, there's one. Wait, I'm trying to find it. Oh, here it is. This is Aya Kaida, Yuji Kaida's wife.
That's fun.
And she is a big cosplayer. I think I put this photo in G-Fan when I used to write for them. So yeah, so that's Aya. So anyway, there you go. And we're back to the black screen. So
that's super cool.
I hope that answered the question, because I just saw those photos today. And I think, and this is the thing that Amemiya did for me.
Yeah, screw you for having that thing. It's an original piece of art right there.
And it says, as you can see, Zeiram, and it says Noman Ingurando Sama. And then it's got his, he wrote in English for me. And then he's got, and I love this here. It kind of looks like the Enterprise to me.
Yeah,
like
it does.
Away from you, And he wrote Hokkaido. I don't know why, but he did that. So anyway.
Why did he write Hokkaido on there? That's weird.
I don't know. It's cool. I'm going to throw it out later, so.
No, will that to me.
And you can just tell people that this actually says Matt Burkett right on the side. People won't know,
No one's gonna know. And Cole says, "Thank you for sharing. That drawing is awesome." So
no, thank you.
And I don't know if this is in reference from before, but he says Nido Torpedo.
I don't know. I mean, I don't make jokes like that anymore. I'm a little more respectful.
No, I found it
really good, and it was like I was really like the look on Junko's face of utter shock as I zip my pants down and I reach in, and I'm like, "Is this gonna work?" And I pulled out, and I still have those shorts. They're not underwear; they're like shorts.
Okay.
They're like legitimate, like kind of with a stretch band around.
Right.
Not a kind of like a bathing suit, but not a bathing suit.
Right.
And I just pulled it out. I'm like, if there is a God, he will make this work. He or she will make this work. And I pull it out perfectly, Godzilla's face. So they got it right away. Dude's wearing, Godzilla underwear. I don't know. You're not laughing, so
no. What are you talking about? I've laughed. You didn't laugh at my joke. I mean, I made one just as bad as you did following that up.
Anyway, but
that was awesome, though.
So at least Doomzilla is laughing. I hope that's that.
See,
or he's just laughing at us.
And Kaimo says Norman Shirt is awesome. The movie gets too much hate. Really good movie.
This movie gets hate. I don't even want to know anyone that hates this movie, because Beneath the Planet of the Apes, it's like, I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan, and I saw the first one when it came out in the theater. It was Star Wars before Star Wars. I was getting the dolls and all the games and the tree fort things and stuff like that. All of that's lost. But my family spent 6 months in Europe in 1970, and I was so upset. Like, how can you make me miss Beneath the Planet of the Apes? How can I even face going back to school in September? So I finally got to see it on TV like years later. But when you're 10 years old like that, a year is like a lifetime.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I big Planet of the Apes fan, and of course, I think the first one is like the best made film, the most important film. I love all of them. But I don't know, now when I just want to feel Planet of the Apes, I throw on Beneath, because it gives you like the ape fix. It's got everything. You got the mutants, you got the gorillas, you got General Ursus with that incredible helmet, you got all the apes going nuts, and yeah, it's good, and it's really an excellent film. It's short, and spoiler alert, they blow up the earth at the end. I mean, like, every movie should just end with the earth blowing up at the end. I don't even care if it's like, some romance movie. Every movie should just end with the earth blowing up. That, if I was like king of the world, that would be my decree. I don't care if it's like Sex in the City, last scene, earth blows up.
Earth blows up.
Earth blows up. The end. So, but anyway, I mean, yeah. So this movie is completely awesome. Anyone who hates it, I don't want to know them. Really. I mean.
All right. Bye, Norman.
Anyway. but yeah, I actually got this in the 90s. I bought this like back in the 90s. I just retrieved it the other day and washed it, and so I'm like wearing it now. So there you go.
Beneath is better than Battle. I'll say that much.
A Battle is awesome. I saw Battle opening day as well, and I love Battle. I mean,
Battle's better than most of the newer ones, in my opinion. But
well, anything's better than the newer ones. I just like the new ones so much. And I can tell you, I have a friend, my friend Yoshiki Takahashi, who's a big movie reviewer, very set in his ways. He saw the last one, and he loved it. We got together and I convinced him otherwise. It's the only time I've been able to point out why that film was awful. And he's like, you're right.
I'm just having flashbacks here. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if it was on trip 1 or like trip 2 or 3, I guess. But you went to go see, I think it was War, because it had just opened up.
Right.
And we talked about it a little, because you were not a fan of it. But I distinctly remember that, because you were about to go see it, and then you saw it like in the middle of my trip, and you're just like, that was horrible.
I mean, the second one was almost okay.
I like the second one good. I don't like the first and third ones. The second one I can deal with.
I mean, the first one, and this is why, and I'll say it. My thing I have against it, like Planet of the Apes, is really just about humanity screwing up. Humanity taking responsibility. Humanity was its downfall. But today's audience is so thin-skinned, they can't handle that. So they have to make it like, oh, this guy, he's just trying to save his dad with Alzheimer's, and he makes this, drug, and it just happens to make the monkeys smart, and really, like, so humanity's off the hook. Is exactly what, the original films are not about, not even what the novel's about,
Yeah.
And so it's a real cop out. And then the third one, it was just more American, like, my family must protect my family, except the family are monkeys, and it really was not, it didn't have anything to do with what Planet of the Apes is supposed to be about, I mean, even you can rank on Battle for the Planet of the Apes, but it was still in that theme with the mutants, the humans.
Oh no, I will take the original. I'll take the original cycle any day of the week. I love those movies. I will watch Beneath and Dawn, or I'm sorry, Beneath and Battle, like, constantly. You know what I mean? I have them on Blu-ray. If they're on 4K, I'll freaking upgrade to 4K.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, those other three, like I said, I could handle Dawn, but nothing really beats that original, cycle of movies. And I mean, that was
the makeup, and the makeup is so wonderful.
The makeup is great.
Real looking at all, but it's so, I mean,
the universe setup is great.
it
like
looks good.
the continuity too is fantastic. I mean, just the fact that they were able to have 3 more movies after the second one, is pretty brilliant. On a great
Conquest is like this awesome bloody film. I mean, that was like kids. We're seeing them machine gunning people down, and we're like, yeah. You
ever see the director's cut of that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one.
But I prefer the theatrical version because I like the speech. They changed the speech
Yeah, they
of
did.
Caesar's at the ending, but it's also got some extra bloody stuff in it, and it's that 70s blood, which
Yeah,
is so great.
yeah, just the buckets and
I'm a big fan of 70s blood. It's unrealistic, I mean, I don't like violence. I hate violence in real life, but I like fake violence. So oh, that's right. And the Tim Burton version, I mean,
oh god.
that was awful.
I just
Yeah.
remember one of the monkeys in that looking like Michael Jackson. That's all I
Yeah, I
remember.
mean, yes, all things considered, it does get a little closer, but it was an idol movie, with what's his name. I mean, the makeup was fine, but I don't know, it
Wahlberg.
just, the
Michael Clark Duncan was awesome as I don't remember. I know he played a gorilla, but like
yeah,
he was
I mean,
him as an actor was perfect for that role. Like if I was to redo a Planet of the Apes, like he would be. I mean, if he was still around, anyways. I mean, he was great in that movie.
I just really like the John Chambers makeup, I
Yeah,
mean, it
no, it's
really
great.
had a style, it had a style about it, that was, the interesting thing about that film is they were very worried people would laugh,
Yeah,
and people didn't laugh, and it was good. It was all good stuff. So, and all I was trying to say, not to get into this Planet of the Apes, I got the shirt, but I mean, it was really like before Star Wars, before anything. People always talk about George Lucas was a genius. He did this. He's created all this stuff. Is like, hello. Am I the only one that was like
yeah,
there for Planet of the Apes? And we were buying toys, Mego toys, and having a blast and collecting this stuff. And yeah, sure. Lucas just, took that and ran with it, much further than, because Apes couldn't really sustain itself. Then they came out with a TV show. I was very excited about the TV show, and it was awful. I'm not, they changed things. They made humans could speak, and it was just, I don't know, it just didn't work. And even you're going to love this story, is the second episode came on, and I had bought tickets to see George Carlin.
oh yeah, you told me this story. Yeah,
Bought tickets
yeah.
to see George Carlin, and it just wound up, damn, it's the same night, the second night, the second episode. What am I going to do? Should I give the tickets to somebody else? I've got to see this episode of Planet of the Apes. What am I going to do? And so I chose to see George Carlin. Thankfully, in hindsight, it was like, I mean, the legendary George Carlin, or now I got the series on DVD. I can't even get through all of them, So, and there's like a couple episodes that they didn't even air, they just canceled. Get this stuff off the air. No one's watching it, I mean, there are actors I like in it, that I watch it, but I mean, it's just, it was like TV back then. Some of the stuff in the 70s was getting really like assembly line made, type of stuff. So they were figuring out how to do things quicker and cheaper and get, good enough results type of things, but yeah, no, anyway.
Well, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. Should we wrap this up?
I guess so.
Well,
I don't know. Does anyone have a question? And while I'm in a good mood.
Oh yeah, well, Norman's in a good mood. So if you have questions for Norman, please ask.
And I have to go. I'm subtitling this movie, and it's really a drag. Like I said, I just subtitled "Idol Never Dies," which was a lot of fun and had a lot of good music, and I did a good job subtitling that. And now I'm subbing one that is about publishers of pornography magazines. And I'm like, and it's very well made, very well acted and stuff. I mean, I haven't finished it, and it's a good movie. I'm just kind of like, it's not really my thing, so to speak. But I have to say, I subtitle movies. It doesn't matter if you like a movie or you don't like a movie. My goal on it is to do the best job I can and to support the director's vision.
Totally.
So, I mean, that's like when I make movies, I want my staff to do the same thing for me,
Right.
So I know when I work on other people's movies, it's not a question, do you like it or do you not like it? It's like, what's going on, understanding and doing, because I'm offering a skill.
Right.
That they're hiring me for a skill. They're not hiring me for my opinion.
Right.
So, but it's nice when you like a film you're working on. So, and I'm not saying it's a bad film. I don't hate the film. It's just like kind of, I'd rather be making a fun science fiction-y kind of movie, So,
Totally.
Anyway, did someone ask me something?
Yeah. Paul is asking, do you know Masataka Yoshio?
No. Should I?
I don't know who that is. RG asked the question, but I'm not going to dignify that by asking you. So I think, I think given the quality of the questions, we might be done.
Well, I have to answer. I'm more of a skipper kind of guy. I'm more of a little buddy kind of guy. So there you go. Okay, well, I guess Kaibutsuya. I don't know that place.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Norman, what's your opinion of the Greasy Straggler?
I haven't watched it yet, and I haven't watched it yet. And Matt is like, now Matt's going to attack me because I attack you for stuff you haven't seen.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I'm going to be, Paige and I are going to be hanging out with one of the stars like next month or the month after. We're going to go to some winery up in Scottsdale. So you need to watch this movie. Yeah, yes, you're not going to watch this movie. Yes. There's a giant monster in it. It looks like it's like 50s throwback.
Okay, okay. No, I've avoided your streams on it until I know.
I know. I'm just playing around.
What's going? Wait, there's some kind of thing here.
What do you think? I've got
the correct answer. I'm scared now. I mean, I think it's a god awful film, but I like it. Does that make any sense? I mean, the dam scene is incredible. The kid, I'm a big fan of the kid. I love when they get blasted in that cart through the air, lands on the ground, and they just sort of just roll out like, oh, okay. I just actually watched it the other day because we have all the Godzilla films are streamed, on Prime and Netflix, and I think Hulu has all of them now too. So sometimes I throw that because I don't have that on Blu-ray. I don't have that one on Blu-ray. So I watched the Japanese version of it, which I don't know if I had ever really seen before. You know what I mean? In the Japanese language. And I detest the MST3K version of it. I used to really like MST3K, but I find it very annoying now.
Totally.
So.
Totally.
But anyway, no, I mean, like, I don't think it's a good movie, but I think it's a fun, enjoyable film. So if those are in conflict with themselves, I don't know. So I hope I gave the right answer.
No, Peak Cinema is Norman approved. So
okay, great.
And Masataka Yoshio is a sculptor for X Plus and Kaiyodo.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I might actually even know. I'm going to look that up right now since we're here, and maybe if I see what's his family name.
I don't actually know.
No, right there. It's I'm looking. Yoshio. So Masataka is his given name. See if I recognize his face, but I don't. So no, sorry. Because I meet a lot of modelers and stuff like that. Also, back in the day, during the Millennium series, I met a lot of modelers and stuff, in the Gamma and stuff like that. But I don't really remember everybody's name. So
totally.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap this up, and I want to say thanks for letting me talk.
Well, thank you for coming on here and sharing everything. I really appreciate it, and it was a really fun time. So I hope you come back with a review for Shin Ultraman, because I know a lot of people would love to hear that, Norman.
Look, I don't want to annoy anybody, and I know that I mean, it's going to be. There are going to be people who like it and people who don't like it, and some people can't seem to handle.
I get what you're laying down. I didn't
want to be put in that position because I'm not. Yeah, see, I mean, I agree with RJ, and see, that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't seem to. It's like if I like it, it means it's good, you know. And even talking like Battle for the Planet of the Apes, you know, I don't think it's a particularly well-made film, but I think it's an awesome film. And it seems like a lot of people today just can't. If I like it, it's good, you know. So
You're not wrong.
everyone's just so extreme, you know. It's like you're either one of us or you're against us type of thing, you know. So I mean, I like a lot of movies, and I love Killdozer, for God's sake, you know. I love Killdozer. It's a horribly made film, but I don't know, it's just really enjoyable, you know. I mean, I just like watching it. I love Howard the Duck, you know. I just watched it on my birthday the other day because I love the film so much, you know. But I would never stand on the highest peak and fly the Howard flag and say, "You people are idiots. This is the greatest." And actually, I probably would.
I was about to say. I was about to say.
Okay, I'm a hypocrite. What can I say? You know, so, there you go, RJ. No, I can quote Howard up. You know, and I've said this before in your show. I'm going to say it again. I saw it opening night, second night, third night, fourth night, and then I watched it again the next weekend. So, I mean, I really just enjoyed the film, you know.
Man, what was it that you showed off the last time you brought out Howard the Duck? You had just either found something or you had bought something in Japan. Do you remember what it was?
Air tickets.
Was it? Oh yeah, that's what it was.
And I just check this out. I found this in a box the other day. It's a sticker. So coming to Earth this summer.
That's awesome.
So it's a little sticker there for that. I'm not going to stick it on anything. I've had that since '86.
You got to wonder if you can still actually stick to something, you know?
Yeah. I've got a bunch of ones for Psycho 3. They used to come out with those stickers like that, and I pinched a whole bunch. I don't think they do that anymore. Give away stuff like that.
No, I mean, if they do, I have no idea. But I feel like that went out decades ago. You know,
right.
But
I still have like pin badges for one for Back to the Future before it opened up.
Nice
and stuff, you know. So yeah, no, I mean, it's fun, good times,
buttons and all that.
Okay, well, anyway, gonna go, and I want to thank everybody for looking at my photos and stuff like that. And I hopefully will have more stuff to share on Matt's channel. I enjoy, you know, talking and sharing the stuff, and I appreciate everybody who, you know, sticks with it. Well, anyway, okay, yeah. So yeah, 2 hours is enough, I think. So.
Well, Norman, again,
2 hour little and I'm getting tired here. And get my book. I almost cursed there. I don't want to demonetize you at the last moment.
No, it's all good. We probably already demonetized with the torpedo and seamen joke earlier, you know. So everyone go buy Behind the Kaiju Curtain. It's available now on Amazon.com if you haven't already. I need to get another copy because mine's getting a little it's getting a little raggedy, but go buy it. It's the best book about kaiju
in the known universe.
Western wise, yes. Western wise, yes. It far beats out anything else. So, but guys, thank you again so much. We definitely will be back here next week. We've got some streams lined up, and should be a really fun time. So, Norman, again, thank you so much. And we hope to see you here again soon.
Cool, man. Okay, thank you, everybody.